And I found that after shaving my head that it just disappeared. That I stopped worrying about balding and could just be and focus on the present rather than focusing on the future of, how much hair am I going to have tomorrow.
Oh, yeah! Oh, there he goes. We're done.
Hi, I'm Galen, and welcome to the channel. So, today I wanted to go over something that isn't necessarily about a beard journey. It's actually something that's a little more nearer and dearer to my heart, but it's kind of on the same note. It's about hair. I've gotten a couple of questions about, minoxidil and how have I considered using it on my hairline. And yeah, I have considered it, but I was on Finasteride for 11 years. I've been balding since I was 17, and kind of something that I've been struggling with for a long time. So when I got onto minoxidil for the beard growth journey, it did cross my mind. It's like, well, if you're applying it right here, might as well just roll it over to the top of my head. But I decided not to. In fact, as you saw in my month 4 journey, I actually did shave my head, and I had considered shaving my head and staying bald and just accepting that that was just a natural part of life. 50% of us men will experience some form of male pattern baldness in our life, and I was okay with that. In fact, when I started growing out my hair again, I realized that I actually like being bald, and that it was okay for me to be bald and for me to accept that as part of aging, you're going to look different, and being different from how you thought you looked as a kid, it's okay, and I have to thank the Bald Cafe a lot for kind of coming to that realization. Seeing a lot of other men struggling with male pattern baldness was enlightening. That it wasn't just me who felt like something was being stolen from me. That a lot of people feel that sense of loss. And part of me growing my hair back was kind of a tribute, and part of the reason why I'm doing this channel at all is I lost my son in October. He was born essentially without lungs, and while I was hopeful that there was hope that I could be a standard, run-of-the-mill dad and just live on life, that wasn't the case. And at the time when he was in the NICU, I swore that, like in the Bible, Samson with his hair and his strength, that I would grow my hair as long as he was in the ICU until he would get better. But when we were there, it was a lot worse than we had ever imagined. He essentially just had lungs maybe a fourth, but most likely a fifth of the size they ought to be. And he was on as much life support as they could possibly handle. And we chose to just let him go, because that was the harder decision, but it was the right decision, because anything more would just be prolonging his suffering. And kind of in memory of him, I've started this channel to talk about my beard growth journey, because me growing a beard so happened to coincide with the pregnancy and getting to know my son. And seeing the pictures is a way that I can kind of remember what was going on in my life at the time. And my son had a lot of hair when he was born. He had a lot of hair, and it actually had the same, deep forehead that I do. So in a way, I decided that I was just going to grow out my hair as long as I was in that deep grieving process. And I wasn't going to fight it or try to change how it was going to look. And surprisingly, I found that my hairline actually stabilized. I mean, it's not some 18-year-old hairline. Granted, at 18 years old, I didn't have that great of a hairline to begin with. But I'm doing this channel mostly to kind of channel that energy that, I would have put into fostering a relationship with my son, into something positive, something that I can create, and maybe inspire other people. I know this is a little bit deeper and more somber than my usual videos, but I think that it is important. I think a lot of men suffer with male pattern baldness. I mean, it is 50% after all. And I'm hoping that maybe my story can kind of shine some light on, the nature of the issue, and that you're not alone if you are experiencing this and you are considering using minoxidil for hair loss or finasteride. Again, I did use finasteride for about 11 years, and it did work. I kept my hair, and I have rolled off of it as of 2 years ago, right before I started the minoxidil beard journey. And the reason I rolled off of it was it started losing its effectiveness. I started to see that my hairline was starting to recede again. Not as fast, but it was there, and I found finasteride, one of the side effects is depression, and actually explains a lot of suffering that I experienced throughout my life. Maybe things that could have been more easily overcame were not. It's a lot of tasks felt impossible at the time, and I'm not sure whether or not that was because of me always nitpicking about hair loss or always thinking about, just what's on top of my head and how I look. And I found that after shaving my head that it just disappeared, that I stopped worrying about balding and could just be and focus on the present rather than focusing on the future of, how much hair am I going to have tomorrow. And in growing out my hair again, I found myself fussing about my hair all over again. And that was not fun. I mean, I want to be able to live my life again. And I want to be able to be happy with who I am. And worrying about a bad hair day, or worrying about balding, or worrying about whether or not you can see, that it's a little bit thinner right here. These are things that I just don't want to have to deal with. And I've come to really enjoy that being bald, that you can wake up in the morning and not have to worry about a messy head, that you don't have to worry about shampoo, that if you're putting on sunblock, you just go from here and all the way back. Those are all amazing things. And it's not a bad thing to be bald, I know that finasteride and minoxidil can work wonders for other people, or even doing like a hair transplant, but those are only going to stall the problem, right? You're always going to be worrying about how much hair you're going to have the next day, and I don't want to have to be reliant on a drug for the rest of my life, which, after 11 years, it got tiring, right? Having to remember to take a pill and then, sometimes forgetting to take that pill and then worrying about, well, how fast is my hair going to fall out if I stop taking it? Because you hear the horror stories of just, the moment you stop taking that medicine, your hair loss will, rapidly decline to that point. Granted, that wasn't the case for me. I rolled off of it and nothing happened, except for the depression disappeared. It honestly felt like one of those allergy commercials where like that fog just lifted and I suddenly felt like a vibrance or a vitality to life. And after experiencing probably one of the greatest losses I might experience in my life, the loss of the hair on my head almost seems trivial. That worrying about how I look is not it. It's not something really to worry about, because I do this litmus test of, can I remember X person and what they wore yesterday, or the day before that, or the day before that. And odds are, more often than not, I don't remember how someone looked yesterday, and definitely not the day before that. So me, who I feel is a more observant person, can't even remember what someone wore yesterday. Who's going to remember what I look like tomorrow? If you're on the fence about it, it's hair and it will grow back. Or not, and then your answer's already there for you, But consider shaving your head, and you'll see me shave my head very shortly, because I think it is time. I think it's time to let go and kind of accept what is and try to find joy in that. I hope this video helps you and allows you to come to your own realizations about what you want to do, whether it's with your beard, whether it's with your hair, or whether it's with your life. I hope that understanding that you're not alone in these feelings that you might have of feeling loss and feeling lost about that, that's normal and it's human, and you should take as much time as you need to get through that, and know that there are people out there who understand, and those that don't aren't worthy of hearing that story anyway. So hold on to the people that do want to listen to your story and can empathize with your suffering as you empathize with theirs. And I hope that I can see you again sometime, and I appreciate all your support. So thank you. As for me, I got some business to do. I'm gonna go shave my head.
Here we go. I hope this thing buzzes actually, so we'll see. This is for my beard, so. Oh yeah! Oh, there it goes. We're done. Oh, it does. It like really cuts through. Nice. And then we can just stop right now. Oh yeah. Good luck. Oh yes, it feels so good. I might need help with the back though. Let's see. Oh, it was like really good for. I didn't expect it to cut right through like this. Almost there. All that gone. Wow, actually I have a lot of hair. So. This is the hard part. It's just right around the ears. Nice. More or less. I think I just need to clean it up in the shower. It looks pretty good, yeah. And then now it accentuates the beard. So all the better. More beard gains by shaving off the top of your head. Well, I hope this helps you, and maybe with your own beard journey or hair loss journey or whatever journey it is you're going on. I hope it helps.